Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Hawthorn versus Brisbane game, going through how Brisbane in the end ran over Hawthorn, but it was actually quite a game going into about the third quarter when Brisbane started to kick away through Davidson and all their other stars. So they really started to, I guess, dominate the game more so. But it was actually a pretty intriguing game up until then, with Bates and then Stratton, who was the better choice over Phillips to hold, which would have solved what you're going to see in the team preview or trade targets sort of videos coming out tomorrow on Thursday and Friday respectively. How you're going to see that sort of did stuff everything up, and I'm sort of 100k short, so Phillips having a 38 has really chucked around my team into mayhem, and I'm trying to find that value option because I know that there will be some mid or that some forward that will go huge, and some mid that will probably turn it up, and just trying to find that value option, I guess. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So first off, we have is it Amoni Bates? Not Amoni Bates. Bates here. That's the NBA star. Sorry, so the NBA player. It's Emily Bates. She went 98, 17 touches, 14 tackles. So really good effort from her, and she's really showing that she can do this. What she was doing in previous years, she can still do it, even on a slightly weaker Hawthorn side. Stratton 68 with the 12 tackles was a ridiculous call in preseason to go for her as a forward, and it worked out. I just traded her out one round too early and went for the big name in Phillips rather than the consistent scorer in Stratton, which, when looking back at hindsight, really was a dumb play. Because Stratton wasn't going to lose cash, whereas Phillips, unless she scored about 110, was going to lose cash. So it was just a smarter play to go with Stratton. You might have burned 30 points, but you're going to not lose cash like I did. Wales 66, 19 hit outs, 14 touches. Yeah, she did pretty well. And then you have Fleming here, 56, pretty good. Lucas Rod, 53, Ashmore, 50, and you really see Hawthorn just did not get the fancy game going. 104 touches, 24 marks, 76 tackles. So it was a very tackle-heavy game, but there was not many disposals, and also only 5 goals 3 for Hawthorn, I believe. Yeah, 5 goals 3, and 5 goals 2. Sorry, and they were both rushed, it seems like, looking here. Then we move over to Brisbane, and let me get that screen correct for you guys. And Ali Anderson, 119. She did amazing, 30 touches, 2 marks, 8 tackles, and 0 goals 3. A little bit inaccurate in front of goal. Could have at least got herself up to about a 124, 129 if she'd kicked 1 or 2 of those. Was that Isabella Dawes, I believe? Dawes here. Let's just see. Let me see here. Isabel Dawes. She went up with 115, 2 goals 2, 20 touches, 11 tackles. Absolute huge effort there. And got a positive free kick differential as well to go with it. So she did really well there. And then you go on to Dakota Davidson, and if you look at Dakota Davidson's fantasy by quarter, you'll see she dominated the second half with 65, including, I think, all 3 of her goals were in that second half. She absolutely dominated, 100% time on ground, and she is really a forward that if she kicks goals, she's just going to score really heavily, obviously. Hickey, 27 from 12 touches and 24 hitouts, so fairly decent from her to get to a 74. And yeah, just a sort of roundabout game for a ruckman. That's sort of the marker that I think I'd like, sort of as just sort of the low point for a ruckman. That's why I'm looking at getting rid of the likes of Schultz, because I think there's much more value there, especially because Schultz played who she played? She played West Coast and struggled against a West Coast side. So that will be talked about in the trade targets, etc. Then you have Savak, 70, and I'm pretty sure Savak got off to a really flyer. 29 in the first, yeah. So she got off to a flyer and then didn't really do anything else. So that was sort of a little bit annoying. And yeah, so she only ended up on a 70. Conway on a 63. Dwyer, 59. Smith, 51. Cohen, 47. Ellinger. Postlethwaite got off to a really slow start for those people that have her at F5 or potentially on the bench. I would be looking to move her on now, as if we look at Brisbane and we look here and we look at the forwards right now, we look at Postlethwaite, and she went up 16k here, but she really didn't go up much. They've got Collingwood next, which should be a tougher opponent. Collingwood are coming off of a win last round, so they should be decent. And so I'm kind of expecting Postlethwaite to struggle a little bit. So I would suggest trading her out at 601k. If you have her on the bench, that's 300k. If you have her on field, then you're just going up to the likes of a. If we bring it out here to a forward, and we look at round points, you could get her up to. I mean, Davidson is 900k. She's gone pretty decent. Except for that round four she missed. 83 last 3, 76. I mean, if you can get her up to Morrison or something like that, or a Too Good or a Hoare or a Gardner, then you're laughing. But if you can't, then, I mean, Wardlaw last 3, 74, that's pretty decent, and she's playing Hawthorn as well. Paxman last 3 is 81, so that's alright. Gabby Newton as well, 69, not the greatest. Sharika, not the greatest. Ty could be an option, but she's gone sort of off on, so you're just sort of, you're waiting for her to drop a 30 again. Houston has done actually pretty well recently, and comes up against Sydney, so it could be interesting that. Scored well against Geelong, so that's interesting. But that 38 against Brisbane is sort of looming there as a iffy sort of thing. But she did well against Adelaide, so I mean, you could look at her at, but she is 890k already, so you're probably looking at someone less down the pecking order. You know, Frederick at 920 is still pretty decent, and Rowe at 899 is all right, but not the greatest. And you have Goldsworthy here as well that I would look at, and Berry as well. I'm just waiting for Berry's her midfield numbers, because if she got the midfield split that I want in round 5, then I'm certainly going to jump on her with Carlton up next. So that pretty much is the end of the video there. Another short one, as this game, this recap is recorded like 4 days post game, and I don't remember much of this game, to be honest with you, other than the general flow of it. So yeah, I'd rather keep this short, as there wasn't really too much fantasy related. We saw this with the men's later on in the season, how you sort of, the rookies aren't there, and you sort of come down to about 2 or 3 on each team that you really start to track. And I think that's sort of the case here with Bates, Stratton, Fleming to a certain extent, and Anderson, Dawes, Davidson, and Postlethwaite to a certain extent. So that's the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.